Barbarians, what's up? Thank you for passing by. My name is Phil and I'm from Mints and Drops. And today I'm having the pleasure to receive on the show my brother, Basil from Legends of the Past. Amazing dude, crafting one hell of a project. Gaming, Web3, I think he has the special sauce. He's got the magic tweaking, him and his team, man. I mean, watch it up. Full of alpha, little bit of French. Enjoy. What am I saying, man? Yeah, let's go. Basil. Yeah. Legends of the Past. Yeah. Let's go, man. How you been? How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. A pleasure to discuss with you. A pleasure to tell you more about what we're building and to see and to discuss about the HEDERA space. So thank you for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure having you on the show, man. I got to say it. And I've DM'd you about it, but I was sleeping on it. I was like this. There's so many stuff to see, right? But bro, that it's the project is really fun, man. How's this whole thing been thus far?
Yeah, well, it's honestly an amazing experience that we are living every day. This journey started more than a year ago, like 1.5 years ago, to be precise. So at first, the idea was to build something different. We did not want to build like yet another play to earn with a similar gameplay of something that may have worked for Web2 games. So we took a lot of time to hire first the proper team. And so first we started with our game designer, and then Kim, our art director, joined us. And so we spent a lot of time on the pre-production, so designing the IP, the art, the game loop, then what's the core of the game, and also the gameplay, so all of the roles and the game mechanics. So designing the pre-production, and then moving on to hiring more person to actually build the game. So started the actual production to building the prototype, the mobile game on Unity, and at the same time, so that's about hiring the team, starting to build the game, and at the same time opening up the community to build something that people want and people can see what's being built progressively, and so that we are actually building something for them and with them. So yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey for the last year, and the best is yet to come, because now we are, I think, getting some momentum both regarding the development of the game. We are getting more like funding with like private investors outside of all of this, and so yeah, it's amazing to be here, amazing to like keep the journey moving to build Legend of the Past, and I can't wait to have this game live so that people can actually play it. And I'm looking forward to see people like playing with Cleo, the first character that is public, and the others that people don't know yet, but it's gonna be very fun.
It already is, man. And I knew that you guys were around for quite some time, because when I saw the token idea, it was like in the 1.2 whatever. I was like, damn, that's been done since a while. Because right now, when you're creating a wallet, right, it's around 2.6 or whatever. So you've taken your time. And 1.5 years that you're building this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, because the thing is, it's not an NFT collection. It's a video game, and so like 90% of the work is not happening on Twitter and Discord. 90% of the work is happening on Unity with like programmers, designers that are actually building the game. The NFT and the Web3 layer on it, and the way we are presenting it, is a premium experience. Again, we also took the time and analyzed like the market at different like Web3 gaming conferences, and also joined the Blockchain Game Alliance that joins a lot of like Web3 games. And basically we've seen that many of these games were using like simple tokenomics that are not sustainable. They often have the same like reward loop. Then they simply manage people to enter purchasing an NFT, so they get a budget to reward daily players. They reward players, but at the moment where you have low, not as much of new players joining in, you don't have the same budget. Therefore, players are receiving less tokens, and then the value declines. Drops. So people are leaving. Exactly. And so like these mechanisms is what paved the way for Web3 game. It's very cool, so that we can have mechanisms where people are getting money, are playing to earn something. That's beautiful. But I think we need to build something that is, that creates value over time and not a Ponzi scheme over 3 to 4 months. And I think our second focus was to build our tokenomics and create this Web3 experience that rewards NFT holders, but in a limited supply. It's not a dynamic and infinite supply that we can sometimes see. So that players will want to participate and will experience, the Web3 as a premium experience that gives governance, also weekly earnings, and yes, a governance aspect in which you will get implied in the organization of your team. Joining a legend team, owning an NFT of Clio makes you a member of the Clio committee, so giving you, again, those governance responsibilities, but also governance earnings, because your team will participate in tournaments and you as a member of the committee will get some earnings in LOP based on the performance of your team. So yeah.
So you want to perform.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
The thing is, and also what's important is, I think, last year and like 2021 and 2022, I think it was like crazy, like double regarding Web3 games. People did not know how they were working. They just saw that people were making money out of it. People never thought of, okay, how is it working? How are people actually getting tokens? Where does it come from? And people were just saying, don't worry, it works. Just take the token, cash out. And the way we see it is you can make money, but it's like, in like those huge games like World of Warcraft, some players were selling their account to other players outside of the game against dollars. But because these like accounts were like super
they had value,
leveled up, like you had reached a certain exactly, it has value. Therefore, so that's why you can trade it to other players, because it has a real gaming value. So you can put a price on this. And the way we see like trading NFTs in our game, I think it's going to be something similar. You'll trade very powerful artifacts in HBAR against other players, but only when they have reached a certain level so that they are powerful enough. Because we did not want to have, an overflooded marketplace where you would have like thousands of similar NFTs that are all like level 1 and no one wants to buy it. We rather want to create something that you can sell it when it has value. So the first thing is that relationship with NFTs, and also the relationship to earning tokens, the LOP. We also see it at the way I like to compare it as esport tournament, like weekly and monthly events. So instead of rewarding every player on a daily basis, we are only rewarding during those events, but we rather reward with large cash prize so that players and members of the committee receive, in dollars in the end when they convert, but something sufficient, something that has real value for them, but based on the performance of the team, based on an esport tournament. Just like when you watch a League of Legends or any other like a
any team board space
event. Exactly. And doing it with the token, it's something that is like feasible, but you need to find a way to how to finance this and how to make it sustainable and how to create utility so that people who receive this token, they can either hold it. It has a meaning of holding it and maybe spending it inside the game to provide gaming utility or to level up the level of your committee. But on the other hand, we also want to give them the opportunity to cash out. If they cash out, it's fine, because we have some mechanisms to buy back the token. And so this is why we are saying, by explaining that we want to create something that is sustainable. Whereas many Web3 games, again, I want to insist on this, they don't want you to cash out. So they are creating some mechanisms to like either make it very difficult for you to cash out, or like incentivizing you to spend as much as possible in the game, so that people, because ultimately if people cash out, the price of the token decreases, and so future rewards won't have the same value. So that's why we want to create something that is sustainable over time and doesn't work in the same way that the first generation of play to earns were working.
You already have me convinced, man. So many stuff to say, because I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm what you call a legacy gamer, where I've played every single classic since the 90s. Even I'm old, okay, 80s, late 80s. My first console was like a Nintendo, right? So that to me speaks, because you truly develop. You seem at least to be developing a game that's amazing and awesome on its own, on an ecosystem. To me, and you make it sustainable. Because that's the key. People that sometimes people just go like for the quick buck, or even in this NFT game we're all playing, they just go for the the quick buck, but you seem to have found a way to make a couple circles where it's all intertwined and you make it sustainable for the long term, man. That's what I see, man. And again, I'm not paid. I'm not nothing. I've been going in the Discord. Big shout out to your invitee in the back, by the way. I'm seeing. I've been going in the Discord for a week now, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing layers. I'm seeing something that's sustainable, and I'm seeing something concrete. And again, you can see that people believe, because again, floor price is a metric, but whatever, amongst other, but it still holds. So sustainability, man. Yeah, I think you guys have it.
And sometimes it's funny because, you know, I've been in that was crazy, and that also gives an idea of the overall space. I remember like quite some months already when I was like discussing with a private investor and explaining him the tokenomics, and he straightforward told me, "Oh no, I'm not interested. I'd rather invest in like literally Ponzi game, because as an investor he can invest quickly and make a quick return like in 3 months." And so he told me, "No, I'm not interested to that." And again, hearing this and like having him saying the word Ponzi, I was crazy to listen to that. But like that was only one guy. What's good is now I'm taking more for like an investor point of view. When we discuss with now like a Web3 gaming, you know, venture capital that have invested in many Web3 games that did not succeed over time last year. Right now, they still believe in Web3 gaming, but they now want to see like first actual gameplay and something that is different, not a copy of something that used to work, and also reward loops and mechanisms that can create value on the token over time. And so that's why again I'm quite confident. We still have a lot of work to do, but our mission of building a gameplay unique and a sustainable tokenomics, at least we are going in the right directions, and people, when we are pitching the tokenomics and explaining everything, people are appreciating. We have some token advisors that are helping us, you know, designing all of this. It's not only on our own.
That's smart.
We have support of so it's called Smart Chains, Parisian agency, who's helping us on that, experience on Web3 gaming tokenomics. Yeah, again, to create something that has value over time and not something that stays for 3 months.
Oh, that's wow. What wow. What's your background? Where do you come from? What was before?
Yeah, so with Neil, we've been actually building games together for the last 4 years.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, directly. And so basically, at first, we started with educational games. So our first experience together, we were a team of 10 person in a previous gaming incubator, also in Paris. And with this team, we've created a game called Play Learner 1914. So basically, it was like a Subway Surfer, but when you were like running in the trenches of World War I, and basically at some checkpoints, there were like a colonel who would ask you some questions about the war, about like the current chapter, and if you answer correctly, he would reward you with like, ammunition and rifles that helped you like survive the way. But this was like educational game, so like we'll have at the same time a real gameplay, where you were like jumping around in the trenches, avoiding like enemies shooting at you, and sometimes firing back at them at the same times. But like every 30 seconds or so, you'd have a checkpoint in which, yes, you were answering questions, and if you answer correctly, you would like move forward to the next chapter, discovering a new aspect of the war. And this, we first like release them, you know, on the App Store and the Play Store, but then we also like pivoted a little bit and sold some license of these games to French middle school. We actually worked with a couple of like friends, like all around all around, like with 12 middle school in France, in Paris, but also in the south and north and the west, which, you know, like paid some license of our game to use it in class. So like they were using, you know, like either some tablets or on student phone, and they were using, you know, our game in class. And after this first experience, that managed us to get like revenues. That's how we started like to build Legend of the Past, to hire our first employees before raising any funds. It was all financed by our previous games revenues. But yeah, we wanted to move away from the educational space because overall we had created a game that was like very fun to play, that was educational at the same time, so it is a good and a good mission to fight for. However, I think we were a little bit, you know, like right now, especially in France, we were creating something that is nice to have for school and not a must-have. So we had some clients, but I think education takes time. Education, exactly. So it's that's why we wanted to create something that is a must-have, that people fight to play, because the gameplay and the art is beautiful, and you want to create an instantly great experience. So that's why we really wanted to build something that we as gamers wanted to play for fun, and that's how we came up with the idea of building Legend of the Past and adding a Web3 layer on it, so that we can actually, from the beginning, from the construction of the game, co-build it with our community to, well, actually, what I said earlier was to build something that people actually want. Whereas I think in the Web2 gaming industry, it's exactly the opposite. Basically, like big, like corporation and studios, they have like sometimes like a lot of budget. So they prepare the game and they spend like 4 years under the radar. No one knows what they are building, and suddenly they release it. If you're a big brand like Ubisoft or Supercell or any like major gaming industry, well, you have the skills and knowledge to know what's going to work or not. But when you're what's called an indie studio, like people, like young people like us that start, and want to create something that is different and don't have maybe the same experience as Ubisoft, that's difficult to like have and raise like millions to actually build a game because people don't know you. So yeah, that's why having this Web3 approach, where you can also co-create with your community, then show later to investors that you have people believing in you directly, like, because you can see like metrics and the commitment, and also like you said, engagement through NFTs show tractions, shows also like real like a venture capital, that you have people that believe in your game and that will actually play the game overall. And so now it's a good metric for them to invest, because they have this external validation.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. I find that sometimes, even for everything, right? For a product, it's very often not even what you have, but how you bring it, right? How you bring it to the people, and how because branding, that's strong, man. I think you guys have it again for the art, for everything that's around it, especially for the game. How will I be able to play the game, and what's the ETA for it? How would it work?
Yeah, so you'll play. It's a mobile game. What's important is also we are gamer. It's usually easier to build a Web3 game on PC or like online game, because
that you download or web responsive app, right?
That's exactly. Easy. So it's also easier in terms of blockchain integration, like directly. So like we are going the harder route, but we are going through like I believe the real route of gamers, and the future of gaming is mobile. Right now, the mobile game industry is like larger than any like PC or console industry, even all of them sums up together. So you'll be playing on your phone. You'll be playing with historical character. So for example, Clio, our first historical character. You'll be playing against other legends, either in a PvP. So your character against another historical character in what we call an historical arena. So it will be like either in Clio Egyptian arena, or it could be like in the Heaven of Legends. We'll also have a map for this. We'll also have some maps for each legend. Will have some arenas, and what's important in these arenas also have some kind of roguelite mechanisms, in which you'll have some procedurally generated arenas. So like enemies, traps, power-ups, loots will pop, but it's procedurally generated, so it depends on each game. And so basically, you as a player, you are either fighting against like minor enemies to like progress and to get some stuff and to increase and to get like stronger. Yeah, exactly. Level up to get stronger artifact, and then you'll battle against real legends. Or you also have, we are implementing some co-op mode, and I find it like very fun to build. Well, you'll be playing with your historical character, and we're together. It's like 2 or 3%. We are battling against a large like boss. Could be like the ghost of King Arthur, for instance. Wow. And together we are battling against this ghost. And what's fun with this idea is to have, like a splitting of the rewards in the end. So like if we are battling the 3 of us together against this ghost of King Arthur, in the end, we'll all receive, the 3 of us, a fragment of Excalibur. So that we can use later on when we have gathered all of the fragment of Excalibur. We can mint the artifact, use it on ourselves. And even if I'm playing Cleopatra, I'll be able to use Excalibur sword, which is like a very strong ability, like a huge sword that comes from heaven and attacks the opponent. Like I'll be able to get that kick-ass ability because I've played and I've earned those fragments of NFTs. And the fun fact about this co-op mode is that's an idea, but what if you are playing like 3 against the boss? But what if in the end I notice that we are winning, we are on the verge of winning, and I suddenly decide to betray my teammate because I want to earn and get the 3 artifacts exactly. So we are thinking of those kind of big mechanisms. All of this is not defined and finished, but yeah, we have those kind of ideas of like competitive and cooperative, and then because in the end you are actually earning something that you can use and later on trade to others. We like the idea of something like potentially sneaky, where you can betray your opponent in the end to maximize your rewards.
Wow. Man, so if you can pull this off, man, I mean, damn, that's amazing. So on App Store and Android,
Play Store, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And that's
App
crazy.
Store, Play Store, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, you have to, you have a great team. I went on the website. You have a great team surrounding you, man. With you got 3D artists, marketing architect. Shit, man. I mean, just you surrounded yourself with great people. That's for sure, man. I mean, that's what's okay. So, and you're minting. You're minting. So, at the time of recording, you're minting right now. Is that correct?
Exactly. So again, the idea is we wanted to since like we need to take our time, whether it be like related to like the production of the game, but also regarding to like building community and also like selling NFTs that have real value. We do not want to like create and sell NFTs that are like exactly like JPEGs or any like potentially in-game assets but you could have otherwise. And so our NFTs are not like mere speculative assets, but they all offer like tangible utility, whether it be like future future financial utility because the NFT will grow as the game grows, but also like in-game utility, and also more importantly this governance aspect. It may be a little bit difficult to explain quickly, but it's still this idea of if you own a Clio NFT, you are a member of Clio committee, and you'll be eligible of those earning in LOP based on the performance during the weekly events and the monthly tournaments. And you also have some governance responsibilities, and all of these are tied together. And right now, we are today doing our first direct sale, the first drop of 100 Infinity Jars. And this Infinity Jar is our first and the strongest artifact in the game. It's like the ultimate OG status because this Infinity Jar will airdrop you many items, whether it be related to like in-game assets, so like artifacts, either like fragment or altogether artifacts that you could be able to use in the game later on, but also some financial airdrop because you also get some LOP token, the token that only the member of the committee will receive overall. You being a jar bearer, you'll get some of them. You also receive some soft currency, the gem and the gold. Those are the 2 tokens that only have value within the game, but are highly powerful for trading and minting and leveling up your legends and NFTs. So you have those kind of items, but also related to like building and investing in Legend of the Past. Owning an Infinity Jar is beautiful because this jar will provide you and airdrop you future Heaven Key. Again, we don't want to like oversell a large supply at the maximum price of our NFTs in the short term. We want to build something progressively while the game develops. And so we'll sell, for instance, 1,000 Clio when we are ready for the mint of Clio to open the governance aspect. And if on those like 1,000 Clio NFTs, you'll need a Heaven Key to participate in that sale. So technically there will be 1,000 Heaven Keys, but 500 Heaven Keys will go in the Infinity Jars of the people who have the jar. And so having the jar right now, exactly, it's important because you'll have those future Heaven Keys to make sure to participate in future sales.
Damn.
And so right now we're doing the first like 100. We are taking the time because we like in the end there will never be more than 500 Infinity Jar, but we did not want to do like to rush it and to do like the 500 like again at the maximum price quickly to maximize the profit, but to build it progressively. So right now we are doing the first mint with 100 based on people who have like been highly active on Zilli to participate and to receive and to earn their Heaven Keys either through the quest or buying them, on Zeus to other potential winners. And right now, after this first drop of 100 Infinity Jar, we'll continue to distribute and airdrop on Zilli some future Heaven Keys for the mint of the jar. But since the value of the jar is increasing, the next mint price of the Infinity Jar will also be more expensive.
That sounds amazing to me. And again, damn, I see it in the way that you're taking your time and you're taking care of your community. I see it down in chat, I see it down in Twitter, and I see that you're being transparent. I will digest it all, process it all. You too, Age Barbarians, process it all, because man, that's some great info again, and that's a great shot at, it's not even bridge, right? Web3, it's just keeping on something that's amazing and bringing game to this whole ecosystem that we have. Oh yeah, last you could have went for ETH, right? And maybe you could be rich by now. What's the angle with why? And I'm not paid by HEDERA. I mean, because it's my home. I always go elsewhere because I want to be able to compare. I want to be able to keep in touch. I want to know what's up. I want to know what's happening on Sol, on Ordinals, on ETH, on XRPL. I want to be aware, because I know that what we are in right now over at HEDERA, we have a great ecosystem to build upon. I know that, and community is absolutely pristine. So yeah, why HEDERA amongst any other ecosystems?
First, for the tech, which is a perfect match with what we are building, because in the end, you'll have a lot of transaction between artifacts, between players that are at the same time minting the artifacts, either using them or trading them to other players. First level of artifacts are tradable, in gold and gems, so soft currency, tokens, while stronger artifact will be traded, on secondary marketplace in HBAR. So you have a lot of interaction. So we wanted to have a tech that is efficient and scalable, and always provide low gas fees, which is perfect for what we are building, on HEDERA. So we were attracted by the tech. So first of all, and then I think we stayed, as you said, for the community, for the passion between either community members, people that are on our Discord discussing with us, giving us feedbacks and ideas, but also with other builders on HEDERA, other games, other tools and infrastructures that want to help us, and opening their hands to help us go to the next stage. And also I think on the tech, the community, and the last one is also I think our mission. Again, we're not yet another play to earn that attracts people for speculative purposes in the short term, but we want to deliver utility over hype. And this mission is aligned with HEDERA overall mission. And we want in the end players to play LOP and to trade Excalibur to other players, but without knowing that they are on Solana or any other blockchain. Because they're having fun and they're actually training it and using the technology based on that. So and our mission is attached to that. And I think also, and the fourth, answer would be also is, having, this community opening up, their arms was amazing. And also it was also important for us to create something that is organic, based on people that are interested in what we are building, and not people that are crawling on many Discords just to quickly, flip some NFTs in the short term, but don't really care about the game. On HEDERA, we've seen passionate people who understand what we're building and want to build Legend of the Past with us.
You haven't convinced, man. I'm not gonna lie. You again, I'm a gamer. At least I used to be before, I ventured it all. I basically stopped gaming once because this is a 12-hour, you know what it is anyways. This is 12, 14 hours a day, researching, doing stuff, communicating, exchanging, whatever. But man, you have me convinced. I wish you the best of luck, man. Best of success for Mint, for Prior, for Post, for anything. I'll be following. I'll be down the Discord. I'll be pushing this because you legit. Best of success. Again, this was in English. All AI tools are all over, but if you want to do this in French, je parle français, so go ahead. Later on, another time, next week, whatever. Thank you for passing by the show. I truly appreciate it, and have an amazing week. You have a great one in front of you. And
thank you so much, and thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure. And would love to do another one in French to speak to like a French
for
community,
sure.
Will be a pleasure.
For sure, we'll exchange accents.
Exactly. It's gonna be fun.
Take care.
Looking forward to it.
Of course, man. Take care, brother.
Take care.
Basil, thank you so much for your presence today on the show, brother. It was a great one. Thank you so much, man. I think you have it. Je pense que tu l'as. I think you have it, man. I think this is it. You have the proper angle. You took your time. You had in mind sustainability before anything else. And especially on a great ecosystem, yeah, for sure. But again, this is scalable. You are putting community first. You're taking your time. Best of success, man, leading on. And H Barbarians, I will see you